All right, so you're getting ready for this rental service representative interview. And you want to like totally nail it, right? We're not just going to like run through those typical answers everyone give. We're going to dive deep into what those interviewers are actually looking for.
Yeah, like how to stand out from the crowd,
Mm,
make them remember you.
exactly. And that's where all this awesome stuff from RoleCatcher comes in. We've got career guides, we've got interview prep stuff. We've even got some cool insights into how their AI can help you like personalize your
Just
responses.
give you that edge,
Yeah, totally. But okay, before we even get to the interview itself, let's actually like paint a picture of what a rental service representative even does. Like it's got to be more than just handing over keys and doing paperwork, right?
Oh, yeah, way more. Think about it. You're like a customer service superstar, but also a logistics guru. And then throw in some sales skills and even a little bit of car knowledge.
Whoa, that's a lot. And I saw in the career guide they even mentioned something about like determining specific periods of vehicle usage. That sounds way more strategic than I initially thought.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's about understanding what the customers need, but also managing that inventory and even like thinking about things like pricing and like seasonal demand and stuff to make sure they're maximizing those rentals.
Wow. Okay, so there's like real depth to this role. So what about like the bigger picture? What kind of career path are we looking at here?
Well, that's what's so cool about this. You can totally climb that ladder. You could start entry level and then move up to like assistant manager, then branch manager, and then eventually even director of rental services.
Ooh, director of rental services.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that. But I'm guessing to get to that level takes some serious dedication.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The career guide laid out all those different growth stages, and like each step comes with more responsibility. So you might start with just handling reservations, and then eventually you could be leading a whole team or even developing strategies that bring in the big bucks. Continuous learning is super important here.
Sounds like they're looking for someone who isn't just content with the status quo, someone who's ready to like learn and grow with the company. All right, so are you ready to dive into the heart of it all? Those interview questions?
Oh, yeah, bring them on. Let's do this.
Okay, let's start with like a classic. How did you become interested in this role?
Mm.
Seems pretty straightforward, but I bet there's more to it than meets the eye.
Oh, there totally is. It's like deceptively simple.
Hmm.
The interviewers are using this question to see if you're genuinely interested in this role, not just like desperate for any job you know.
So how do you avoid falling into that trap? Like, how do you give an answer that truly resonates?
Connect your passions to the role. Think about what actually excites you about this opportunity. Do you love cars? Is it the helping people part that gets you pumped? Are you like a natural organizer who thrives on coordinating all those moving parts?
Find that spark, that thing that genuinely connects you to the role. Like I remember one time I was talking about how much I love creating efficient systems,
Mm.
and the interviewer was really impressed by that.
See, exactly. Share a specific story, an anecdote that really illustrates your point.
So instead of just saying, I'm a people person, tell them about a time you went above and beyond to help a customer and how good that made you feel. Make it real, make it memorable. Now, what if they hit you with a follow-up question like, what do you think are the biggest challenges of this role?
Ooh, that's a good one. They're trying to figure out if you've really thought this through. If you're ready for the nitty-gritty, not just the shiny parts.
Okay, so how do you handle that one?
Be honest. Acknowledge those potential challenges, like maybe dealing with a really difficult customer or juggling a crazy busy day. But here's the trick. Frame it positively. Talk about how you would stay calm, how you would problem solve, and most importantly, how you would keep that customer experience positive.
And this is where something like RoleCatcher's AI could be super helpful, right?
Absolutely. Imagine having a little interview coach right in your pocket. RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your practice answers and give you feedback that's tailored to this specific job. It's like a secret weapon.
Okay, let's tackle another common one. How do you handle difficult customers? Deep breaths. Everyone, we've all been there.
Oh, yeah. This one's a classic for a reason. Interviewers want to know if you can stay cool under pressure, if you can effectively solve problems, and most importantly, if you can maintain that positive customer experience even when things get tough.
So what's the magic formula here?
The STAR method. Situation, task, action, result. Tell a concise story about a time you successfully navigated a tricky customer interaction. Don't just say you're good with difficult people. Show them.
So like if a customer was upset about a billing error, you could talk about how you listened to their concerns, investigated the issue,
Yeah.
and then ultimately found a resolution that made everyone happy.
Exactly. And be ready for them to ask, what did you learn from that experience? It shows you're not just going through the motions, but actually reflecting and growing.
Now let's shift gears to a question that's a little more technical. How do you ensure that rental vehicles are properly maintained and serviced? This is where you get to show off your knowledge of all the behind-the-scenes action.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're looking for your understanding of those inspection procedures, how meticulous you are with record keeping. And even if you're familiar with any rental software systems,
So don't just say, I'd make sure the cars are clean. Go deeper. Talk about your attention to detail your knowledge of those maintenance checklists and your commitment to ensuring every vehicle is in tip-top shape.
and this is key, connect it back to customer satisfaction. Well-maintained cars equal happy renters, which ultimately means a successful business.
Speaking of happy customers, let's talk about handling negative feedback. How do you handle customer complaints or negative feedback? This one can be kind of daunting.
It's similar to handling those difficult customers, but now you're addressing specific feedback. They want to know if you can take criticism constructively, learn from it, and use it to make things better for everyone.
So the STAR method comes in handy again.
You bet. Share an example of a time you received negative feedback, how you responded professionally and with empathy, and what steps you took to fix the problem and prevent it from happening again.
It's all about showing that you're not afraid of those moments. You can turn them into opportunities for growth. Okay, let's get into some of the operational stuff. How do you ensure that rental agreements and contracts are accurate and complete? Accuracy is crucial in this business.
Absolutely. Those agreements are legally binding, and any errors can cause major headaches down the road. They're assessing your attention to detail your organizational skills and your ability to follow procedures to a T.
So how do you showcase those qualities in your answer?
Highlight your process for double-checking everything, verifying customer details, making sure all the signatures are there, all the documents.
Sure.
If you've worked with any rental software systems before, definitely mention that too.
And like always, a specific story always helps. Maybe talk about a time you caught an error in a contract before it was finalized, potentially saving the company a costly mistake.
Perfect. Now let's move on to a question that tests your ability to handle the fast-paced nature of the rental business. How do you handle high-pressure situations such as dealing with a large number of customers at once? Picture this. It's Friday afternoon. There's a huge line of eager travelers, and you're the only one at the counter. How do you stay calm and collected?
Deep breaths. Organization and prioritization seem key here, right?
You got it. The interviewer wants to see that you can stay calm and efficient, even when things get a little hectic, and that you don't lose that customer focus. So describe your strategies for juggling multiple tasks, prioritizing those urgent requests, and making sure every customer feels valued.
And this will be a great time to mention RoleCatcher's interview practice feature, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. RoleCatcher lets you simulate those high-pressure scenarios. You can practice your responses and get AI-powered feedback. It's like a dress rehearsal for the real deal. Helps you build that confidence.
That's a game changer. All right, let's move on to a question that's a little more operational. How do you handle scheduling and reservations for rental vehicles? This is all about managing those limited resources and meeting customer needs.
Precisely. They want to know if you understand the ins and outs of managing that rental fleet, making sure the right cars are available at the right time.
So highlight your experience with reservation systems, your ability to anticipate those fluctuations in demand, and your knack for finding creative solutions when those unexpected challenges pop up.
Yeah, maybe share a story about a time you successfully handled a last-minute reservation change, or found a suitable alternative for a customer whose preferred car wasn't available.
Resourcefulness is key.
Okay.
Okay, let's tackle a question that gets to the bottom line. How do you handle billing and financial transactions for rental vehicles?
Yeah.
This is where your attention to detail and accuracy really matter.
Absolutely. They want to know you're trustworthy, accurate, and that you understand the importance of handling those financial matters with the utmost care.
So walk them through your process, verifying payment information, processing transactions, maintaining those accurate records. And if you have any experience with accounting software or financial reporting, definitely mention that.
Yeah, it's all about demonstrating that you understand that financial side of the role and that you're committed to doing things by the book.
Okay, last question for this round. How do you handle inventory management on vehicle tracking for rental vehicles?
With all this new sophisticated tracking technology, I imagine this is becoming increasingly important.
Oh, it's crucial. Inventory management and vehicle tracking. are essential for making the most of that fleet, minimizing losses, and keeping those customers happy.
So how do you really impress them with your answers?
Describe your experience with inventory management systems, your ability to conduct those regular checks, and your familiarity with all that vehicle tracking technology. Highlight your understanding of keeping those accurate records and making sure every vehicle is accounted for.
So it's about showing that you're on top of things you know, using tech to your advantage and ensuring everything runs smoothly. Yeah, you could even talk about a time you used that tracking data to locate a misplaced vehicle, or like
Yeah.
resolved a customer dispute about mileage or something.
Ooh, those are some good real-world examples.
Wow.
Shows you're proactive, resourceful, and you get how important tech is. Okay, but before we move on from the interview questions, I just want to really emphasize how much RoleCatcher's AI can help, from tailoring your resume to getting feedback on your answers, and even practicing those high-pressure scenarios. It's like having a personalized prep team.
Oh, for sure. Using those tools can be a game changer.
All right, so we've covered those core responsibilities, mapped out that career path, and tackled those interview questions. But there's one more thing we need to talk about: industry trends. The career guide mentioned this rise in sustainable rental options. It's kind of fascinating how that's changing the whole rental car world.
Oh, yeah, it's a huge shift. And any smart candidate is going to be ready to talk about it. We're seeing this massive demand for electric vehicles, hybrids, all those fuel-efficient options. People are thinking about the environment, and rental companies are definitely stepping up.
So how do you weave that knowledge into your interview? It's not just about showing you did your research, but also demonstrating that you're thinking ahead and
Right.
you're aligned with their values.
Exactly. You could talk about your interest in sustainable transportation, maybe mention any personal experience you have with those types of vehicles, or even discuss how you see this trend playing out in the future.
It's about connecting the dots, showing you can think critically about the big picture.
Right. It sets you apart from those people who are just reciting memorized answers.
Okay, so I know we've been laser focused on the interview itself, but we can't forget about all the prep work you do beforehand. The career guide had some great strategies for getting ready. First up, hands-on experience.
Yeah, that's super important, especially if you're just starting out, even if it's not directly related to car rentals. Any experience in customer-facing roles or industries that involve logistics and organization can be a huge plus.
So think about part-time jobs, volunteer work,
Yeah,
even personal projects where you've used those skills.
it all adds up.
Next up, continuous learning. The rental car world is constantly changing. New tech, new regulations, new customer expectations.
Gotta stay ahead of the curve. Take those online courses. Read industry publications. Check out manufacturer websites. Learn about the different car models, the features, the maintenance procedures.
All that good stuff.
And you can even mention those efforts during your interview. Shows them you're dedicated to learning and passionate about staying in the know.
I love that. Okay, so the career guide also talked about showcasing your capabilities. What does that actually look like in practice?
Go beyond your resume. Give concrete examples of your skills and accomplishments. Think about creating a portfolio or highlighting projects where you really excelled in customer service problem solving. Anything that's relevant to this role.
So maybe you implemented a new system for tracking inventory or streamlined a process for handling customer complaints. Those are tangible examples of what you bring to the table.
Yeah, exactly. And whenever you can quantify those achievements, did you reduce wait times by a certain percentage? Did you increase bookings? Numbers really make a difference.
Oh, for sure. Okay, last but not least, networking. This one can be tough, especially if you're new to the industry.
It's all about building relationships and learning from others. Go to industry events, join professional associations, connect with people on LinkedIn. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask for informational interviews. People are usually happy to share their experiences and insights.
And you never know what those connections might lead to. A casual conversation could turn into a job offer, a mentorship, or some insider knowledge that gives you an edge.
It's true. Networking is an investment in your future. The more connections you make, the more opportunities will come your way.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground today. We've explored this role from all angles, tackled those tough interview questions, and even touched on industry trends and prep strategies.
I feel like I could ace that interview right now.
Me too. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought, something to think about as you continue on this journey.
Ooh, I love these final thoughts. Always gets the wheels turning. What you got for us today?
Well, when we were talking about those sustainable rental options, it got me thinking about the bigger picture. The future of the rental car industry as a whole. The way people travel and get around is changing so fast. We've got technology, environmental concerns, evolving lifestyles.
Oh, yeah, totally. That traditional model of owning a car is being challenged by ride-sharing subscription models, even those self-driving cars we keep hearing about.
Exactly. So here's my final thought. As you prepare for this interview, think beyond just this one role. Consider all those forces that are shaping the industry and how you can position yourself as a valuable asset in this constantly changing landscape.
That's such a good point. It's about showing them you're not just looking for any job. You want to be part of something bigger, something that's evolving and growing. You're invested in the future of this industry, and you're eager to contribute to its success.
That's it, exactly. It's about having that forward-thinking mindset, showing them you're not just along for the ride. You're here to help steer the ship.
Wow, I'm impressed. And I'm not even the one interviewing you.
All right, folks, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the world of rental service representatives. We've given you the knowledge, the tactics, and hopefully the confidence to crush that interview and kickstart your career.
Don't forget to check out those amazing resources on RoleCatcher. Tailor your approach, and most importantly, let your passion and enthusiasm shine through.
You got this. We're cheering you on every step of the way.
Yeah, you could even mention like, oh, I used that tracking data once to find a car. Or like, I used it to help with a customer dispute about the mileage, you know?
Oh, yeah. Those are some good examples. Really shows you're thinking ahead and using those resources to your advantage. Okay, but before we wrap this whole thing up, I'm going to circle back to something we talked about earlier, those sustainable rental options. It just got me thinking, about the bigger picture. Like, what's the future of the rental car industry going to look like? Things are changing so fast. The way people travel, how they think about transportation.
It's true. Like, even that whole idea of owning a car is being challenged.
Right. We've got ride-sharing subscription services, self-driving cars on the horizon.
It's a whole new world out there.
So here's my final thought for everyone listening. As you're prepping for this interview, don't just focus on this one specific role. Think about all those forces that are shaping the industry and how you can show them that you're ready to be a part of it all.
Yeah, like you're not just looking for a job, you're looking to be a part of something that's evolving and growing, and you're ready to contribute to its success.
Exactly. Show them you're not just along for the ride. You're here to help steer the ship.
Love that analogy.
All right, folks, that's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of rental service representatives. Hopefully you're feeling more prepared and confident, ready to rock that interview.
And don't forget about all those awesome resources on RoleCatcher. Use them to your advantage.
Okay, listeners, that's all for today. Thanks for tuning in.